So we're here down in maintenance with Alesha, who is our gardening expert here at Cordova Golf Course. She's going to tell us a little bit today about the vegetable gardens and the decorative gardens here at Cordova Bay that cause so much comment. So let's start with you. How long have you been here, Alesha?
I'm on my 11th year. It's a funny story how I ended up coming. I went to horticulture school, and as part of the requirement of graduation you had to get 2 weeks work experience at the end, and I came for my 1 week and Dean hired me and I did another week at Victoria Golf Club, and then I came back and started working, and I've been here ever since. For most of the year it's Mel and myself. We work with the guys a lot doing turf things. They'll come and help us. But in the summer, because there is so many gardens, Mel and I do tend to be in the gardens a lot more. We take care of the gardens here, gardens at the Ridge, the gardens at Maddox Farm. If we're doing any development building, we'll be landscaping those. And if anywhere else in the neighborhood looks particularly ugly, we tend to sneak in and do a little bit of cleaning up there, like the bus stop.
Really? So you guys will go and just kind of anything that's sort of in the environs around here,
Yeah,
you guys are going in?
Yeah, we'll do every few months I'll drive my cart. If you see me driving down the sidewalk, down past trail, we're just picking up garbage or just keeping things in check. When
did you first start sort of liking plants? You mentioned that you went to horticultural school, but...
I guess growing up. My parents always gardened. We had 5 acres, so we had the small hobby farm. And they were just always gardening, so I'm just kind of used to eating what we grow. Right now we have the main one that you see out at 15, and we do plant some vegetables on our compost bins because we make all of our own soil here. So at certain times when we won't be using the soil, we'll plant on it. Let
me stop you there for a second. You make your own soil?
That's a Dean thing. Dean's really good at it. He's our professional. He gets... We'll save when we aerate the greens, we save the cores, we get scraps from the kitchen, we put all our compostables in, we leave the weeds out and they go up to 14. And leaves, we have a lot of trees here, so we get a lot of leaves, and then so we let it compost down. Dean will add a bit of 1 scoop of sand and 1 scoop of mulch, and then mixes away, lets it sit, adds a bit more. Any old fertilizer we have, we dump in there.
So what kind of stuff are you going to show us today?
I'm going to show you all the vegetables we're growing.
Fantastic. Well, let's get at it.
Okay.
So we're here in our main vegetable garden. Tell me a little bit about it. What is its history, and where does the vegetables go, and how do you guys keep it up?
The vegetables go to the kitchen. Walter takes anything I give him, from whatever's grown in here to rose hips I pick off one of the gardens. What gets planted here is pretty much whatever we want. Walter gives me his wish list, and I usually try to accommodate that and maybe give him a few fancier things too, whatever I can. It's a big garden. We have a whole 200 acres, so it doesn't get babied like a lot of gardens maybe should. Okay, so these are our artichokes. I didn't expect them to be actually as great as they are. I love them. And do they give us a massive crop? It's the beginning of June and we've already been harvesting for probably almost a month. Every few days I come, once these bottom leaves start to open a slight bit, or they're just a really good size, I just give them a cut, and they're quite beautiful. Too, it's kind of fun to look in them. You often see little frogs living in the leaves. This would be a perfect one right here to pick.
So how often do you bring stuff into the kitchen?
Well, it depends. In summer it's often more, we have more to offer in the summer. I try to do it about 3 times a week. Things like this. This is just tops from our regular onions that we're growing. I, lightly just sort of selectively pick a few and they use them as green onions, and then I'll dig them out and I'll get whole onions.
So we're here just outside the kitchen. This is the herb garden, right?
Yeah, this is the kitchen's garden. This is sort of where they come to collect all their herbs. This is our latest addition. This is a fancy little stove that was donated by Doug Walsh. I like to think it was a stove he grew up with, but he says no. we've got it all. If you notice here, there's a ladybug. This ladybug's going to eat my aphids, so I don't have to do anything about it. So the trickiest part is to have the herbs accessible to the cooks and not accessible to the deer. So we've sort of raised them up, which seems okay. I also want it pretty. So I kind of just do the best we can. It kind of skirts around the building. I've added a few vegetables here. It's for looks and makes it more pretty. There's some bush beans, whole beans. I've added some of my squash that I started from seed. We've got a lemon cucumber.
So what can people do to grow their own herb gardens? What are the easiest herbs and some of the best ways to do it?
Most herbs need sun. They need at least 6 hours of sun. I think maybe parsley you could get away with not sun, but you need the sun. Get a pot, some soil, some seeds or some starts, and away you go. If you have a sunny window, you can have it. I mean, a lot of people, you can buy your basil even at the grocery store and just keep it on your windowsill and away you go. It is a nice thing to have. Some herbs are not hardy like basil, whereas if you get yourself a rosemary will last you for as long as you can keep it alive, which could be many, many years.
What is your favorite part about the work that you do at Cordova Bay?
It's not getting up in the mornings, but you have a cup of coffee and you head out, and we're a great crew and we work really well together. And look at where we are. It's unbelievably beautiful. Even on the rainiest of day, it's still not that bad.